Hey, bros. Okay, let's have some fun with this one today. I posted a few things on like some Nansen stats and stuff like that, and I'll go over that and a couple coins that I think are really good buys right now, and might even do like a just a chill type video here where we go through Nansen and try to find some undiscovered coins, some new tokens, or just some that haven't really been accumulated yet that are probably getting ready to run. I'm not really going to worry about Bitcoin today. I mean, honestly, I don't like covering Bitcoin at all. We know that it does control the market because it holds most of the market cap. Still, I don't really want to cover it today. I want to talk about alts, and I do think the market's still going to go up again. We'll just have to see what happens. I am going to, do the normal timestamps for everything to where you can jump around, just look at what you want to look at. But if this here at the very beginning interests you, then you may want to stick around for that. So here's my dashboard on Nansen. I've customized it for myself. I thought this was pretty interesting. The stablecoin exchange flow, meaning when this goes up, that means people are going into stables on the exchange. And when it's down, that usually means things are bullish. So I think this was January 2nd? Yeah. So January 2nd, it seemed like a lot of people were going to the stables, and it was probably mostly smart money. I'm still holding a lot of my coins, hoping for another push up next week or sometime soon, at least by the end of the month. I don't want to miss out on a possible push, like I said last video, just in case there's a really nice mini alt run or something like that prior to the halving. Because we know how it works, right? I mean, historically, you do get some kind of dip before the halving, and it's happened that way every time in every 4 year cycle so far. So I have no reason to fade that. I have to believe it's going to happen again. And if it doesn't, then it was just that 1% chance that it didn't, and I'll have to adjust from there. But I just don't want to miss out on it just in case it's going to play out the exact same way. So currently, a lot of people are in stables, but I would expect this to start coming back down because this is it's a pretty big swing as far as whoever was going into stables here. It was a like if you saw this on a chart, you think, well, that's a pretty good push. It's going to have to come back down to retest. I think the same thing would apply here that you're going to get some people buying back in pretty soon here because they're going to see some good deals. What else do I want to show? So sector flows. This is something I posted on my Twitter just earlier. Yeah, here it is. So it looks like I was looking at the 7 day. Yeah, so over the last 7 days, actually, for some reason, consensus layer sector popped up all of a sudden. It wasn't showing earlier. So there must be some coins in the consensus layer that started pumping today or something. I'll check on that here in just a second. But we got DeFi, lending, and scaling and connectivity have seen a pretty good push the last 7 days. And in the last 24 hours, yeah, that must be what it is. Consensus layers really taken off. And then meme coins, here's scaling, here's exchange, which I guess exchange would just mean like an FTX coin or, some coin that has to do with the exchange. And then these aren't too much last 24 hours. But again, DeFi over the last 7 days has been pretty good. And I need to remember to look at that. I'll try to remember to look at consensus layer. Last 24 hours, smart money wallets. Last 7 days, smart money wallets. These are the coins that have been accumulated the most. Let's see if I can. Maybe we sort by smart money inflow. Yeah, so MUBI has been seeing a lot of accumulation or reaccumulation because the chart had dipped, I think maybe 40 to 50%. I don't know, something like that. And so people are seeing a good opportunity there just because you can stake those coins to get other coins like BSSB or DOVA or other BRC20 narrative coins. And a lot of people are in it for that. And you got Pepe, you got Gala, ARB, which I'm going to talk about ARB here in a second. You got CRV, which is actually CRV USD. It's the stable for CRV. FLC Prisma. These are some of the names I've seen popping up. Here's TET. TET has been just going crazy lately. It's up another 50% today. So I'll just kind of scroll through these. You can see some of the big ones. And then here's the last 7 days. Beam is on the top, I think. Yeah. So Beam's on top. There's Gala, there's MUBI. You know, a lot of these that are on the 7 day are going to show up here. Here's ARB, Pepe. Volta isn't one that was over here. So if we just jump over to say, I mean, sometimes when these are already at the very top, like if we look at Beam real quick, you know, you can already see the charts coming down. Let me pull a Beam chart up here. I want to make sure I get the right one because there's two different little Beam coins or something. Let's see, it's at 12.1. Okay, this is the other one. This is at 0.19. I think they call this one Beam X on MXC. Yeah. So here it is right here. You know, it already had a pretty good push and then it came back down. And this was over, like, here's the daily chart. So here's the massive push, and then it's kind of doing some kind of correction here, a reaccumulation. And when we looked at that on the smart money flow, that was over the last 7 days. So you've got 130 million fresh wallet inflow, you got 21 million smart money inflow. But obviously, there are some people that are selling it over the last, you know, 7 days or whatever. Yeah, so you're, well, actually, yeah. So negative 2.6 million. And I guess that's the cash amount for USD has been exiting smart money wallets over the last 24 hours. So there's definitely been a decrease. Let's see. So this is since January 3rd. It's gone from 1.5 billion down to, where's that up? That's weird. This one looks higher, but this one's lower. Oh, I'm looking at the smart money holders. So there's less smart money holders after the last few days, but accumulation has increased. But you can see some of the top holders have been selling off a little bit. And who knows, it could just be a quick retest and a move up. It may not be done yet. What else do I want to show? Here's smart money token inflow, just a quick view on it to see what's moving the most. Here's SHIB. Usually when you see these show up on the first page like this on Nansen, which by the way, if you want to look at this, it is a paid app, but it's app.nansen.ai. Usually when they make the first page here, this isn't the way I found MUBI, by the way, which I'm going to get into that. I want to find another coin that has a pattern like MUBI that is going to do like a 10x or something over a couple of weeks. It's hard to do, but that's the goal. And that's why I subscribe to this. And I did find MUBI this way through this app, so just be aware of that. But it's not easy. So any of the coins that are here on the front page, let's just look at Matic here real quick. I want to show you this in real time. I haven't even looked at this chart. Let's see, that's the daily green money flow, but it's tapering down. Let's just see what the 4 hour looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's oversold. Money flow may curl back up. I mean, there's a lot of support right in here, so it could come down just a little bit more and come out down here and cover this whole wick and then come back up. But you can see right here, it's on the front page of the smart money token inflow. So smart money has been buying it, but now they're starting to sell it because they were buying it early. So really what you normally want to do is go like to page 3 or 4 of this, which TET, I mean, it's been going crazy too. Yeah, I mean, TET's still doing good. So page 3, we've got one that's, made a massive move, but it hasn't started coming down just yet. I mean, I would be careful with something like this. Just, I don't like buying things that are already way up. But obviously it's still green money flow, so it's not a problem. But I mean, you may get a pullback to here at least where all the support is. But if we just go a few more pages, maybe we'll find one here that hasn't really moved. ENQAI is a really good one to accumulate. It's already up 75% today, though. Let's see, what's QNT doing? Okay, QNT is down 15%. Let's just see what the chart looks like. Yeah, So this isn't bad at all here. You had a really strong push by QNT. VWAP's curling up on the daily. See what 4 hour looks like. Yeah, I'd still like to see some divergences here. I don't know that negative money flow has peaked just yet like it did back here. Once you get money flow to peak, and then you get some divergences, which it really didn't give us one here on the 4 hour, but if we step down to like the 2 or the 1, I bet it did. Yeah, here's some, momentum was starting to come back in here, and then you went green money flow, and then it pumped up, whatever this is, 30% or so. But, look at all this right here. That's going to turn into support, and it's kind of at that area right now currently. So got a little bit of a bullish div here, but really I'd like to see more information first before making a play like that. And one way you can do it, of course, we talked about this before, is you just draw your trend line, and it's still fighting against it. So really you'd want to see something like this. You want to see market structure come back in, where it gets back above that resistance level, and then you'd start feeling a lot better about it. But it does need to hold all this right here for sure. So yeah, not a bad one there at all. I mean, it's and actually QNT looks a lot like Cubic, and I'm going to show that one here in a second. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show it now. Now, the only problem with this one is it's not on TradingView, it's not on CoinTrader charts. I can't pull this up on any other charts or use any of my tools because they haven't actually. I don't know what has to happen for them to be able to get on TradingView, but in so many words, it's not on TradingView yet. So I have to use this really small. Um, see if I can use a different one here. Yeah, here we go. This is a little bit bigger. So I have to use this really small chart here. I'm going to see if I can make this better view here. Make sure this is showing for you. Yeah. Okay, here's Cubic, and I'll put this right beside it kind of here. So notice how I think Cubic's done maybe a 10x at this point from the bottom, but notice how it came up. And actually, I got to show you all that. So notice how it came up, it had a pretty good move, and then started reaccumulating, consolidating, had a really massive move up, and then just dipped all the way back down. And now it's trying to create market structure again above this lost support. Was resistance at one time. Now it's acting as support again currently. And the exact same thing happened here on this Wyckoff accumulation, reaccumulation area. So you had a big push up. Notice how this kind of chops around in this area. That's exactly what this is doing here. Had a pump up. It doesn't look exactly the same. This one just kind of slowly climbed, but it's really the same idea where it pushed up to the top of the range and actually got above this range here. And then it did a spring all the way back down into the range of this whole section. Did a spring below all of this support and faked out. And then it had another push up. And I believe we're in this test phase right now as far as Wyckoff reaccumulation with a spring. So spring, this is the test. So up, down, up, down. And I don't know what moving average they're using there. That may be the 50. That's the 20. So I don't know if this thing will actually let me. Yeah, see, I can't even put a moving average on this thing. It's such a bad chart to use for charting. But anyway, from a pattern standpoint, this looks pretty close to me. Now, if you see something where it pushes back up here and then it starts looking like it's just consolidating in this area, then this is probably right. And it's going to have a really big push out of here. So what I would say is I really like this chart as long as it holds. What would we say here? as long as it holds above like 3,000 sats, 3,000 satoshis, which I'm just using that as a phrase that that kind of caught on back in 2021. If you don't want to have to add all the zeros that's in front of the number, you just say, 3,000 satoshis or sats or something like that. So if it holds above 3,000, which is 5 zeros, 3,000, even if it comes down to here and stays above that, then I feel pretty good about it. And even if it holds this area at 2,600, it's fine. But you can't be closing any 4-hour candles below that. I'd really like to see it hold, well, really where it's at currently. But looks very similar to me. I guess is the point I'm trying to get. Excuse me. The point I'm trying to get across is that. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm pretty heavy into Cubic. I think I was accumulating down here in the 2,700 range. Not financial advice. I believe it's a very good project. I'm going to do a full video on why I'm so high on it pretty soon. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of, there's a big wall here all the way up to, what is that, 3,500? Actually, there's some there at 3,550 as well. But, walls were meant to be broken. I mean, these could be fake walls as well. They could just pull them away when they're ready to let price go up. So anyway, that's that one. And I'm just going to jump into these other coins that I had already planned to show. And I'm not going to go over all the coins that I went over last time. When I did a lot of altcoins, I just want to do a few because I do want to get back into Nansen a little bit and see if we can find a MUBI type coin. Just show you my process. So here's a big order block in this area from, I don't know, $1.60 to $1.70, we'll say. And it seems like that could be an area where support's being found for Arbitrum. I think I got into this one. I'd have to look again, but it may have been right in this 140 area. So it's having a pretty good run. And I think it has more room up, but we'll just have to see. I like that money flow is thick in the green on the daily. I don't think I covered this one already, did I? I hope I didn't. And money flow is thick on the green and thick in the green on the 4-hour as well. And I don't see any. I mean, if you were to get a momentum wave here on market cipher, just come up here and then curl down, then that would be a bearish divergence and it wouldn't be good. You'd probably see, price retreat somewhere in here. But so far it looks good. We talked about QNT. I am looking for a MUBI. It sounds like I'm looking for love. I'm looking for a MUBI wife. So the reason why I'm looking for a MUBI type coin is you had this triangle that was it was just so obvious that it was going to break out. And I've talked about it before, how I entered here and it went up a 5x and I knew it was reaccumulating, went up another 5x. And I had a pretty good idea it was going to retrace here, but I mean, look how long this took to play out. I will show you one way that you can tell using market cipher, which is a really good money flow indicator. Let's see here on the 4-hour. See how, I mean, you could do this on an even lower time frame, but notice how, even if we take this stuff off, which is kind of confusing to have this RSI on here. But notice how, like if you were looking at this in real time, you'd think, oh man, money flow is just going to take off from here. But you started getting some bearish divs. And right there was the time to get out because you got a couple of them stacking up here. Plus you had money flow rolling over, but you could just use money flow. I mean, if you just waited, like you entered here when money flow started getting into the green and you waited until it crossed to red on something 4-hour or lower, you're usually going to be in the right where you miss all this downside action. But when you're ready to get back in, you have to use the same rule. If it goes from red to green, then jump back in, or you can use like an hourly chart, which hourly charts chop a lot more, so it's tougher because if you would have gotten into this when it turned green, you probably would have lost money because it just rolled back over. So the 4-hour or the daily have to come together to give you some kind of information, which this doesn't really work. Although you can use this to look at the VWAP rolling up. If you go to like a 12-hour, it gives you some more information. VWAP is coming up, And, the 12-hour money flow could just be curving right up with it. And this could end up being a really nice place to accumulate. But there is a chance it could come down to, 11, 12 cents still. Not that you'd miss that much, even if you bought up here. It would just take more time to move up. So usually what you want to wait for is a bullish div if you're waiting to buy back in. And I'm not seeing anything on the 4-hour yet. It's possible that money flow is peaking here, but we don't know just yet. 2-hour, 1-hour, same thing. There's really not enough information here, I don't think yet. Although I would say, well, really, that's not even a bull div there. I mean, this is a bull div right here, and this is a higher low, but I don't know, the move might have already happened here. So you have price coming down, you have a bullish divergence here on the hourly, and that could have been the move just right there, and it's not going to move up anymore because you got a rejection right there. So it's either sideways or it'll come down a little bit more, and then it'll be ready to go. I would say watch that 11, 12 cents area if it loses this 14 cents area. Yeah. So let's see. Let me just go ahead and jump in before we get back to Nansen. I'm going to jump into ETH BTC very fast and then talk about Total 3, and we'll have our fun after that. ETH has been bleeding terribly towards, as far as against Bitcoin. If you look at the daily chart, we do have, an area of support there where these wicks, there's a lot of buying happening back here. So I would suspect, since this is the second touch from a macro perspective, probably not going to lose this area. I mean, we definitely don't want to lose it because there's a lot of downside if it does happen. And that would hurt the alts because ETH is kind of like the king alt in a way. But as far as the pattern goes, it's really hard to read this pattern. I could see it come down here a little bit more maybe, but we're seeing money flow start to taper back up, which is good. We'd really like to see this curl back up soon on this momentum wave. Let's see what the 4-hour shows. Yeah, 4 hours real deep on the money flow, the negative money flow. I mean, it really can't get any deeper than that. I don't know that it's ever done that. Let's just go back to this one here. Yeah, I didn't even do it back here. So I would suspect that this is kind of like a fake out in a way. They're draining the alts or draining ETH and just pushing it down and down so that they can accumulate alts as low as possible. So that's why you're seeing some of your alts, lose a lot of value versus Bitcoin right now, even though Bitcoin is just going sideways, which is usually a good thing for alts. So Bitcoin makes its move and then goes sideways for a while, and then alts get a chance to catch up with it. Usually that's the way it happens, but it didn't this time. So this could be a spring in a way. I mean, this really needs to hold for this to be true. But I've talked about before how BTC charts against other alts or, whatever, they're just a different animal. They look completely different than the actual chart of ETH. Because it's not like ETH is just going down. It's just going sideways basically after it moved up off its bottom. And there is there's a lot of similarity here. Like you can look at this chart and think back to what Bitcoin looks like, and it looks really similar. Bitcoin had this move up, it went sideways for a bit, and then it kind of chopped in here and then came up. So it mimics Bitcoin a lot. And currently you've got some kind of small triangle happening here. So if we break to the upside out of this triangle with a 4-hour candle, then I feel pretty good about it. Money flow is curling down. Looks like we might get a momentum wave curl back up though pretty soon. But for the most part, it looks like it's just going to stay sideways for a little bit longer. Oh yeah, let me talk about Total 3 real quick. So this is basically all altcoins minus, well, definitely minus Bitcoin, but minus ETH as well. You got a perfect retest here on this wick of this breakout on that resistance line. It kind of did the same thing right here. Let me see if I have this right. That's pretty close. Kind of did the same thing here where it broke out, came back, retested it, and then took off again. The question is, are we going to come back down and fill in that full wick or not? Down here, it didn't. It's really hard to tell. Of course, that's the weekly. The RSI is in a really good spot. It's bullish, but the momentum wave could curl down here. There's no guarantee. 3-day money flows green, green on the 2-day, green on the daily. VWAP may be curling up here. Um, we did dip a little bit under the 50 RSI for total 3 here, but sometimes this is just like the first little dip, and it's more like a warning than anything. And then it comes up for one more push, which that completely falls in line with what I'm thinking with one more move up for Bitcoin before halving. So we'd really like to see this get back above 50. And if it does, then I feel pretty good about alts moving back up. But we can see how this kind of rolling over. It could come down here one more time still. A lot of support here, so that's good. And 4 hours trying to make its way back up to the 50 RSI. Actually, that was a hidden bullish divergence right there, was it? Hang on. Make sure I'm looking at this right. No, no, it's not. Sorry. Price wasn't coming up. Okay. So that's all I was going to say on that. Let me make sure on something here. Best performing okay, so this was the best performing, or this is the best performing DeFi and scaling tokens last 7 days based on smart money flow over 100,000 minimum. So if you want to look into any of these coins, you can. We'll just take something like here halfway down and look at it. I don't really like Maker. I'm not concerned about that one. Fresh wallet inflow, 20 million, 4 million. This one's interesting. ACX, I've never looked at it. I'm just going to kind of show you what I do with this. Not sure if this is the right one. Across protocol. It's not a very good looking chart for one thing. Well, maybe this one's moved too much. I mean, it's in reaccumulation. But okay, so yeah, this is actually really interesting. Look how this looks exactly like MUBI in a way. So you've got this, I wish I would have seen this one sooner. So you got, let me bring up MUBI here side by side. I'm going to show you my process here. Let's just see if this makes any sense at all as far as the pattern goes. These aren't 100% to always play out, so just be aware of that. But this is exactly what I was seeing with this one. Breakout, retest, breakout, kind of a retest, not really. It's such a crazy chart because it's on a DEX. Let's see. Only thing I'm not sure on, well, this is a 3 day, so let's see if I put it on daily. Only thing I don't know for sure is if this is this, which kind of makes sense. I think this up here might be this area. So you're getting some kind of reaccumulation here, and then it's going to push up one more time. But if you're planning on playing that, probably looking at like a 2.5x move from here. If this is the reaccumulation structure, which it kind of looks like it. I just don't know. Timing is really hard on these. I don't know how fast it's going to move versus, oh, wow. Yeah, that's actually not good. This one took 247 days to work through this, whereas MUBI only took like 10, 12 days. Yeah. So I really wouldn't suggest that one. Let's see if we can find. I know Matic was. I don't really like playing really high cap coins, but I know Matic was another one that showed up on the list. Yeah, so it could be doing a reaccumulation, but I'm not really all that interested in that one. It's not a very good one in my opinion. What was that one we were going to look at? Um, hmm. Oh, I remember what it was. It was a consensus layer. So if we wanted to look at a consensus layer coin, we would go to this place here, Token Paradise. And we would go, oh yeah, okay. So we're looking at just consensus right here. And these are only coins that are less than 365 days old, which you're only getting one there, so it may have to go higher. We'll just include all coins. Okay, here we go. I wonder if Metis is the thing that's pushing it up. It's only up 7%. Trying to see if I can find one that's moved a lot lately. What about over the last 24 hours? Something's moving a lot that's pushing it up. Well, these are the only ones that make sense. Did Inge go up? Not much. That's strange. I wonder if it's just because of this. No. See if exchange outflow tells us anything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot of money coming into Metis right now. It's the only one that's gone up just a little bit. Oh, ARPA was one of them. Okay. It could be ARPA. We'd actually looked at that one in a previous video. I'll bring it up real quick. And again, this is just like a chill video. If you're enjoying this, then stick around. I'll keep looking at it, but yeah, I'll try to wrap it up here in about 30 minutes or less. So I've been tracking this one a little bit. It actually came right down into my buy area. Yeah, this was the one. I actually posted about this on my Twitter just yesterday, the day before. I called this ahead of time that I thought, when it looked like this right here, I thought it was going to come back down and retest this resistance that it broke out of, and that's exactly what happened. That 50 or that 053 area is exactly where I thought it was going to hit, and it ended up just a little bit under it. Yeah, so it hit. Oh yeah, okay. So it hit the golden pocket exactly. So that was a really good play if you got in that one. That was a good buy. But now you're getting these breakouts and it's coming down to retesting, then it's going to move up higher. I think. I think it'll probably move up higher again from here once it finishes this retest of this breakout. So you want to see them pull away pretty hard. And then if they come back and retest, then that's just a gift. But again, not financial advice on this. It's just, if you like the chart, then that's up to you if you want to enter it. I don't even think I'm in this one right now currently. I think I took my profit on it just temporarily to see what it was going to do. And it's starting to look better. Okay, that's ARPA. Let's go back here. Let's just look at some new coins. Let's see. So we're wanting to look at just new tokens. And this might be a way for you to find a really good project. And you could even do something like this. You could say, I just want to look at new coins that are less than 14 days old. And so that's what these are. And I want to see if any smart money is coming in. And you've got one here called AI Doge, I believe is the name of this one. It's already up 100% today. So the FDV fully diluted valuation is 7 million. So it's not bad. I mean, it's got plenty of room up. In fact, this is probably kind of the sweet spot you want to look for. You don't want to jump in any projects that are like less than 1 million, I don't think, just because it's too risky. I mean, if you're going to do that, I would say just be careful and put a very small amount in, because sometimes they're just rug pulls. They're not a real project. And this is just a meme coin, I believe, AI Doge. So if we click into that and we look at smart money just to see what the accumulations look like, there's somebody that's been accumulating since the very beginning, and smart money holders has slowly grown up to 7. So anyway, this is just a way that I go through it, and hopefully it makes sense to you and you enjoyed it. And I'll do some more of it in the future. All right, y'all have a good one.